Well, hello. Welcome to another episode from Steve's Workbench. Today, I'm going to be doing a side project, which is a smaller portion of a larger project I've got in mind. They say every person's got a good book inside them that they could write. But as far as electronics enthusiasts go, they say we've all got a signal tracer we could build. Everyone loves a signal tracer. Mine is it's going to be a little bit more complicated, as I tend to make it do more stuff. Mine is going to be expanded. It's going to have a few more functions. Well, hopefully, if I get it all to work properly. And it'll be an audio test set. And part of that is going to be modular. And what I'm going to do is today is build one of the modular parts. Sort of. I'm going to build it to test to make sure it's going to work, but I'm not going to leave it built up, so it's going to become part of the overall project. What I'm going to do is build my RF FM signal generator. Now this sounds massive thing to do, big device, a big piece of test equipment, but this is a poor man's version. This is a redneck version. This is a cheap version. This isn't going to be a big fancy machine. This is a simple idea which should work, which will give me an RF signal that I can use for signal tracing in radios and stuff, and a few other functions which I'll expand on as I go along. But basically it's a simple idea done with simple things. So first thing I'm going to need is one of these. That's right, a little transformer that plugs into the wall, a wall wart if you like. Doesn't have to be very powerful because it's not a power sucking device. They're saying it's going to be, this one's 750 milliamp. This should be sufficient for my needs for today's project. The other thing you're going to need is one of these. That's it, as simple as that. It's an in-car MP3 player. Nothing fancy. In fact, this one was so cheap, I got 3 of these for £10 a few years ago. I had a car with a crappy little radio with no CD player. So I got this, plugs into the lighter socket and pumps out MP3s. Okay, they're not in this device, you have to store them. And you store them on an SD card. In this case, an old one I've got. Had a bit of PC software on it for, what was that, password changer? Oh yeah, my old password changer to get rid of people's passwords when they leave passwords on the computers when they send them for repair. Just a simple one. This one's a 512 megabyte. That should be all I need. So we've got one of these and we've got one of these to provide power for it, because normally these run off a car 12 volt system, 12, you know, between 12 and 14 volts. So we've got a 12 volt transformer which will give us enough power to run this simple device. There's no moving parts, it doesn't take that much power consumption, so that one should be okay. Only problem is it's got one of them on it, and these connect up via this pin here, which is a positive, and the earth side there. Right, we're going to take this, we're going to and use that later. First of all, I'll have to explain about this. This is actually, I very nearly shot the end off this, but I actually need this one. This one belongs to something, so I'm going to have to find another one. And like most people, I have a box of bits Yeah, there we go. This one should do. Out that wire. So I've got another one here, another small transformer. This one, oh yes, Netgear. It's an old Wi-Fi box thing transformer. I can use that. It's 12 volts and 1 amp, this one. Though the amperage isn't important, because these units only use a small amount of currents to run, so it doesn't need to be massive. It could be anywhere from 300 megahertz to a couple of amps. It's no big deal. And we'll find the end. Yes, basically we're just going to take this end, or do this, there we go. Chop that off. Now we've got a spare end. Just enough wire on to be reused for something else. That'll come quite valuable, I think, one day. But for now, we all know where it's going to end up. On eBay. Yes. This saved me from making a... I very nearly made a mistake there by cutting off the wrong transformer. Very nearly dropped a right clanger. It's easy for you to say, buddy. Just a little joke. Right, so we've got the bare wires. Now, all we need to do, trim them back. And tin them. I know people use liquid flux and stuff. I still use the old acid-free gel type because I've had that for about... That's my original tin. I've only ever bought one tin, and I have somewhere a I wouldn't make things difficult for myself. Asbestos, so it's a safe asbestos soldering pad, and that will do for me to hold them in place. Put soldering irons on, quickly tin these up. Don't have to be brilliant, no one's going to see it. This is harder than it looks, doing it with a camera. That'll do, it's close enough to this for today. Alright, they're tinned up. So, all you got to do, take your device. Oh god, they made it idiot proof. What am I going to do now? Oh, got it. Here we go. There's the device, and this is what passes for instructions. I'll see if I can focus this in. There you go. It says it's an FM transmitter broadcasting unit, and it supports SD cards and select folders, which are the functions we desire. So we're going to connect it up. I'm going to just solder blob this onto here and put a bit on there. Positive goes here. Now this end is actually a fuse holder for the device. It is fused. There you go. So that's where the positive goes. That is run on 12 volts, so it's okay. Right, one thing I am going to need is just a little bit of shrink tubing for the other end connector here to protect that. So about that much should do it. Doesn't have to be a lot. It's just to cover up the wire. Now, I've just realised, I forgot something else. I haven't tested this transformer yet. So before I connect it up, that can wait over there. We need to test it to make sure it's working and which is the live wire. Because although one of them is marked, I don't know if you can notice that there's a white mark band on that one. I'm not sure which is positive and which is negative, because it might be marked for negative, it might be marked for positive. So I'm just going to put on my multimeter and check the voltages. Now I will warn you, it's a talking multimeter because I don't like to keep looking away. I can just listen to it and it nags a little. But just my luck, eh? Of all the talking multimeters in the world to buy, I'll buy a female one. Right. There we go. Alright, that's on. I'll plug this end of the transformer into the power supply. Into the mains, get this. Hold it still with that. I can't find my helping hands. Alright.
Already on.
Yeah, so you're already on. Shouldn't nagging. Right, turn the transformer on. Now powered up. And I'll just check the two voltages. Oh.
DC minus 14.27 volt.
Well, she says it's minus voltage. So if I swap them leads over, put that one to my negative connector, that one to my positive, that should be right.
14.39 volt.
Okay, so now determine that this marked wire is marked for positive. That's what I need to know. Alright, turn that off, turn her off, or she nags me to death for being left on. Sits there all day saying I'm still on, still on. Right, only I can have these sort of silly problems. Right, this has been turned off, unplugged, and it's ready to solder on now. Get back to the job in hand. There we go, pop that shrink tubey bit down the wire. Put some solder on me soldering iron. My lovely anti-static mat there. It's actually a bit of lino just to soften the workbench. Not really anti-static. Right, put that over the top. Mount that. There it is, protected. Now I'm just going to solder this onto here. Bit of blob of solder on my soldering iron to get it going. There we go. And oh, gets a little warm. I have an asbestos pad for soldering to, but I don't have asbestos fingers. Right, with that done, I don't have any shrink tube that big at the moment. All my shrink tube is sort of these sizes. I need to order some more. So for this project, for now, I'm going to have to make use of good old tape to cover the negative side up to stop any shorts. And it's just a matter of taping it up really, it's no big deal. I can always undo it if I need to change the fuse or whatever. Stick it out, and that, my friends, is your basic rednecks, poor man's signal generator for the FM frequencies done. It is really that simple. You do just really need to connect it up to our main supply so you can have it on all the time. Originally I was going to build this as part of another unit and have this as an add-on plug-in unit and have a lighter socket built into the main unit so I could just plug this in when I needed to. But for now, as a temporary measure, this will do for me. This will work. That's the first part done. That's ready. Now, to use it, you're going to need an SD card. And according to the instructions, you can have up to 8 gigabyte card. So I've got a selection here. I've got 512 megabyte, 2 gigabyte, 8 gigabyte. The size of your card determines how much files you can put on them. We don't need that many. So I'm going to use this 512 megabyte card because it's cheap. I had it lying around. It used to have software on it for removing people's passwords off laptops and computers, but I've got other things for that. When they come in for repair and they don't tell me the passwords. So I'll be using that 512. So basically, let's give this a test. It's a multifunction device. On the one hand, because you've got the card, you can put on it what you like. So these take folders. So in one folder, I'm going to stick test signals, a bunch of sine waves from 50 Hertz to 15,000 kilocycles or whatever, and the ubiquitous 1 kilohertz test tone. They're all going to be about an hour long, so I've got plenty of time for signal tracing. This will broadcast it on the FM frequencies any way I want it, because you can alter where you station it. And that means I've got a test signal which my radio can be tuned into, and I can use to signal trace all the way through the radio, from the aerial to the speaker. The other function is, as a YouTube uploader, I often fall foul of YouTube's own rules on copyright infringement. They have algorithms that check all signals, and if you happen to be tuning your radio in to check it's working, and you land on a radio station and as 99% of them produce music, you are running a very high risk of getting a copyright infringement. But if you have your own broadcastable station, i.e. this device, because you can pump in your own music. Now, the music of choice for this might not be what you personally like to listen to. It has to have one very important thing. It has to be royalty free and non-copyright music, which incidentally YouTube supply. You can either go on the main YouTube channel and download a video with music on it and then convert it using an online video to MP3 converter to just get the music and the song. Now, you can either use software on your computer, but I've also will be providing a link to a online service where you can just put the title for the video into that, on the YouTube link into that, and it will convert it to MP3 for you and allow you to download it. So you can get free music from YouTube. If you're a provider of content, an uploader, you have the YouTube Studio, and in there, on the left-hand menu, about 2/3 of the way down, I think, is a button for the audio library. And in there is thousands and thousands of royalty-free, non-copyright music for you to use in your videos. And they're all put on there as MP3s directly. So, and they have a little link at the side for you to press. You just click the link, and you download it onto your computer to use in your videos. And that's precisely what you're going to be doing, because you're going to be sticking them on your card in a folder just for music. So when you broadcast with this, and you tune your radio into that broadcast wherever you stick it. You can either stick it on a known station, so you can check alignment, so you can make sure that the dial matches up to the scale, etc. So you know the station's in the right place, or you could just have it playing with the music playing out, so you can carry on testing stuff without any worries of infringement for copyright, because it's YouTube's own anti-copyright music, which saves a lot of headaches, because the times you get slapped with a notification for copyright, oh, it's a pain. It's a pain for YouTubers. Right, time to get going, I think. I'm just going to switch my radio on. It's on the other side of the room. I'll just see if I can detune that. There you go, it's detuned now. Ready? Hissing in the background. I'm going to turn this on. There we go. It actually sits upside down. Actually sits that way up, so it's actually upside down in use. So there it says 106.3 megahertz. So I can move this. I like. Now, if you take it to 108, which is its limits, you're going to be pushing the abilities here. It's going to have some drop off. So I'm just going to knock it back a bit, because I know it's pretty clear up there. To 107.9. I'm going to stick this in. Stick my card up it. Using that way around. Now that's gone to playing track 4. Not sure what that is. But as a simple, you can either change things on here, hold that down, change function, and change folder, or as these things come with a remote control, you pull out the little clear plastic thing and you can change folder. When I get it in place, there we go, 22. That's the one. Now, on these folders, you have to number your tracks. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, etc. Because it will see them all, but you can also switch between the folders. So, where is it gone? There you go, 22. That, on my card, is the 1 kilohertz test tone, which is safe for me to tune the radio into. I'm just going to go over to the radio, which I'll oh god, it's a mess in here. I'm just going to pan and scan, and so you can see what I'm doing. There's my radio. Sorry if it's a bit wobbly, but I'm on a tripod and it's not easy. As you can see, there's loads of stations. It's a little loud. There you go. That is now playing a 1 kilohertz test tone through this device here. Now, I could use that to tune the radio in, or to signal trace through that radio, and it's all done wirelessly. No wires, no connections. Simply broadcast it on my private station to the radios in hand, and I can change the signal by using the up down button. These buttons change the location, like they move along the FM scale. These are my selection buttons. I'm going to go from the 1 kilohertz to my speaker test. This tests the balance between speakers left and right. It moves the signal around and does all sorts of silly things. And I can change it to a sweep signal. Woo. Groove, man. Ooh, he's off again. So, it's almost permanent, that one. This one sounds silent, but it's actually a signal. We just can't hear it as human beings, but an oscilloscope would pick it up. This is high pitched. I think that one's white or pink noise. That's another noise one. I've got a selection of different test tones on here. Another 1 kilohertz one. Yeah, the next few are all kilohertz. Right, once I've got it on station, of course, if you're testing your radio and you just want to play music, you simply turn to your music folder. And you can happily tune your radio, do what you like with your radio while there's music on it. Check stations. Check it's on station, doesn't drift and stuff. And the music that's playing now is downloaded from YouTube's own audio library, which means it's perfectly free. Didn't cost me a penny, and it's their music, and it's non-copyright, so they can't give me an infringement for playing it. So that, gentlemen and ladies, of course, is my cheap but effective FM signal generator, multifunction device. Acts as a radio station when I want it to, for tuning purposes. And it has a third function, which I'm not going to go into here, but I will go into on another video, that you can use it for. Because not only does it have the wireless output, it has an headphone socket, which means you can put that music out directly to, say, a speaker, a powered speaker, because this is preamplified. This doesn't have a preamplifier in it. It's just low sound when it broadcasts it. Or you can use it for many different things, putting out different tones to different things. You can use that to connect up to other things for testing through that headphone socket. You just got to make a patch lead with a connector on it, the right connectors on it. It's as simple as that. So it is a multifunction device, not just for putting out music as a radio station, but you can put out test signals as a signal generator and other functions it's capable of. Well, I do hope that's been of help. But yes, very useful device. Now, I'm only temporarily using this at the moment, so I'm actually going to make space for it on my unit here. Move that. And I'm going to stick it just here. There we go. It's out of the way. If I need to change tracks or whatever, I've got the remote. I can just use the remote, or I can get to it here. So it's easy. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to have it in front of you all the time. You can just stick it somewhere out of the way. And yes, I must be very rich because I can afford to use toilet paper as a disposable item. In these times, in the 2020s, when we were in COVID-19 lockdown and toilet paper's a scarce thing, I just have to have a few old rolls lying around. That was from work when it was old stock and they said get rid of it, so I got rid of it to my house to use in my room here. But yes, you just stick it out the way and you can still access it. Oh, that, my friends, just about wraps it all up. So it's goodbye from me, and I hope that's been helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't like it, and if you really like it, subscribe. Well, that's up to you really. I'm okay either way. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.